Hi everybody. Finally made it home last night. 4-hour detour because they decided to close down I-17 to do construction. We're not the only ones. Everybody was on the road yesterday trying to get around it. We're up at the house. We wanted to check out how our tile looked in the bathrooms that we picked out, which we spent 4 hours in Floor and Decor.
That's just what we did on Saturday.
That's just on Saturday.
On Friday, we spent another, 2 or 3 hours.
So we got everything picked up. We met the greatest person there. She was so helpful.
Alejandra.
Very cute, nice.
Newer stuff.
She was very helpful. So shout out to her at Floor & Decor in Phoenix. Drywallers appear to be finished. I don't know if you can tell.
Well, everything is covered in mud and sanded.
Everything's covered in mud and sanded. We won't know the final effects until the walls get painted, and then any of the defects that are here will show up. We've got, we're going to leave the tile for a surprise. We're going to let you see that after we get it installed, because right now we're not sure how it's going to look. We think it's going to look good, but we'll let you know.
But we do have all the pans done.
Yeah, Dwayne and Tom did all the pans, all 3 bathrooms. So that's all ready to go. All we have to do is, I guess we have to do a little cleanup in there and then tile everything. That'll be ready. And this bathroom, there's a beam running through the floor. So the toilet has to be a 10-inch toilet. If you ever go shopping and you just have something to look for a 10-inch toilet in Home Depot, Lowe's, all of them. You're not going to find one. So we got to find that. Where are we going? Downstairs. We're here because we have to close all the windows all the time because the birds get in. So it looks good downstairs. The boards up there don't look good. There's footprints on our big beam, which I'm not even guessing who's going to have to clean that. There's a box that has to go around the T-beam that's hanging down.
And you can see the fireplace is done. Tom got that surround done. So now they can put the stone on it. Dan ordered all the paint, which is sitting down there in the foyer. So all the paint for the inside is right there. And we do want to show you what Tom did outside. So interestingly, and we'll go downstairs and show you, Tom and Dan decided they didn't like how something looked on the front porch, so they changed it. And it looks really good the way that they changed it to. So Tom was working on that last week.
Quite a surprise to us.
Yeah, so we'll take you downstairs and we'll show you what they did on the front porch to make it look better. So I'll walk you through the house here as I'm headed to the front porch. I'm going a long way around because we're trying to keep the front door closed. And the floor creaks a little bit. Here's the bedroom mudded and done. The downstairs is all mudded and done. And then this is the half bath and laundry room. Tom painted the door, but he doesn't like the color. It is a little redder than we thought it would be. So I'm going to step off the porch so I can show you this better. So you see here, this is the small front porch when you come onto the house. And originally around the door, it was painted the same trim color as the rest of the house, but it didn't look right around the door. So we asked Tom to paint it a color to match the door. Now from a distance it looks fine, but when you get up close it's really red and Tom doesn't like it. And so I think the guys are going to find a different color paint to paint it. But what I wanted to show you that they changed are the beams coming down. So these were originally probably half that size coming down, and they weren't in the right place. And so Tom and Dwayne and Dan moved the beams to where they're supposed to be and made them much larger beams, stained them to match the front door, which is also the stain that's on the back balcony. And then they added these really nice braces down here to secure those. So when they changed where they were positioned, it moved them out so that the front door is better centered. They also had to fix where some of the slats are coming down on the siding. Those were in the wrong place as well. So Tom and Dwayne took them all off, put them in the correct place, and Tom repainted it. And so it's nice that we've got guys that are looking at this house not as just something to build, but as something that they want to build and it's good quality and looks nice. And if they don't like something on it, they change it. And they change it for the better. And they build enough houses to know what looks good, what doesn't look good, what they think we're going to like. They've learned our taste of what we do like and don't like. And so they're really great to get some input from and feedback from. I'm going to take you around the side and show you the balcony. And as soon as I came around to the side, the wind kicked up and a dust devil went by. So I didn't think you'd want to hear the wind. So this is the next thing that Dan is not happy about, is the top rail. So when the guys put the top rail on, Dan came out and looked at it, and the top rail has a lot of chips in it and grooves in it that came from the, it's not Home Depot, he buys it from another store in Flagstaff, but he's not happy with the lumber that he was given to do this work. So he is taking it back, and he's going to make sure they give better lumber, because that is going to be the top rail, something you're going to lean on, you're going to see, and so he wants to make sure it's nice. Once Dan's satisfied with the lumber, then Tom will paint it or stain it the same brown, but then he's also going to put a gloss on it so that there's no splinters or anything that you'll get, so you'll be able to lean against it without getting any splinters. You can see Mike is standing there on the balcony. And then the other thing that Dan did after the guys finished building the wall, he concreted the backside of this one to make it look nicer. Dan's background is a concrete person, so he can do it quickly, he can do it really well, and so he just did it. So that's done. The other thing that we're talking about out here is this area. So there's a big slope that's coming down from the house down, and so this could, water's going to run down through there, and we want to make sure that we don't wash this area out, we don't get mud splattered everywhere, and so we're going to terrace it. So what we're thinking about doing is using railroad ties and terrace this so that we can put river rock at the top terrace, and then we'll see what we put in the next terrace down, but that will keep water from doing what it's doing here, which is eroding the side next to the house, because that's what we don't want to have happen. So that's also happening. You can see that this bottom porch area is super nice, and we have it all framed and done there. Our wall is in over here, and I will step into the basement, and this will be my studio on this side and my office on this side. So there's an echo in here, and I have to think about that because I'll be down here doing conference calls. But I think once we get furniture in here, I get a couple rugs down, it won't echo so much. So it's just that it's really a big space that's empty that is echoing. It's dark back in here because the electricity is not hooked up yet, but that's the storage room. This will be storage underneath the staircase. The electrical room and HVAC is all back in that corner. And then this is the downstairs bathroom, which will be also my work area. So we bought a sink that's really intended to be like a garden sink, and we're going to build a cabinet for it. And then that way I can use that to rinse out my stained glass pieces. I have a lot of need for water when I work on stuff, and so that's going to work really well. I don't want to damage a porcelain sink, and so we bought a garden sink that I'll use instead. It's fiberglass. And then this wall, we're going to build what will look like a bookcase, but it's really to store glass. And so I'm going to draw that out for Mike so he and I can build that. The other thing we did draw out this week was some upstairs closet. So the primary bedroom closet, Dan and Tom are going to build that. And so we drew out what we want it to be. So how it would work best for us for the clothes that we have. It's always something you got to think about is how do you hang clothes? How do you store clothes? And then because we have 10-foot ceilings in the closet, we can put like a second rack up high, which, you know, obviously I'm not going to be able to reach without a ladder, but by putting it up there, we can swap out clothes. Because that's the other thing that Mike and I aren't used to having to do, which is to swap winter clothes and summer clothes. So we'll be able to do that as well. But more to come on that as the guys build it. You know, the two things that I keep telling them, which now Mike is repeating to them, is that I'm a very symmetrical person, so I need things to be symmetrical, and I need them to always consider my height when they're building anything. So even them putting a clothes rack at 6 feet, I can barely reach it. So they have to consider the fact that I'm 5'2" when they're building anything so that I can reach it without having to have step stools everywhere in the house. So that's the update for this Sunday. It's June 2nd. It's hard to believe that we are in June already. We are slated to get in the house mid-August, so we got a couple more months to go, but we're getting close. We will talk to everybody later. Hope you're having a great weekend. I am going to travel you back up the stairs into the house and see if I can find Mikey. I heard him up here, but he is gone. All right. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Bye.